Hey guys, welcome to another video of mine, MTG Nerds, on the MTG Nerds channel. Today, I'm going to be starting a series of where I build a modern deck normally, or maybe a different deck occasionally, around a Planeswalker, usually a playset. Today is KYTHEON Hero of Akros. It's a 1 white for a 2/1. At the end of combat, KYTHEON Hero of Akros and at least 2 other creatures attacked this combat. Exile KYTHEON, then return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. And for 2 colorless and a white, it gains indestructible until end of turn. So the indestructible allowing it to be able to swing with the other creatures, even though it's only got 1 toughness, and it's being allowed to flip the next turn. So once it does flip, it flips to Gideon Battle Forged. This is the Planeswalker, and this is a very good card. So it starts at 3 loyalty, which isn't high, but it goes up quick. So for +2, up to 1 target creature an opponent controls attacks Gideon Battle Forge during its controller's next turn, if able. +1 until your next turn, target creature gains indestructible. Untap that creature. 0 until end of turn, Gideon Battle Forged becomes a 4/4 human soldier creature with indestructible that's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to him. So, as you can see, the +1 abilities are simply just giving him more health to stay alive in the long run. So that's going to help you tremendously to keep Gideon alive. And you can also see that there's a lot of indestructible going on when it comes to Gideon. So moving on to the rest of the cards, we have a 1 white for a 1/1 Boros Elite, and this is whenever Boros Elite and at least 2 other creatures attack, Boros Elite gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So this is going to combo with your KYTHEON because it needs 2 creatures to attack for it to transform the next turn, or it needs 2 other creatures to attack. So that's going to help you. Champion of the Parish is your next card. That is a 1 white for a 1/1. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of the Parish. And this is good because almost every single card in this deck is human except for the next one and one later down the road. So, yeah, so this is just good because since you have so many humans for low cost, almost all the creatures cost 1 mana to cast, so this is going to get pumped up very quickly. Next is Figure of Destiny. 1 red or 1 white as a 1/1 when it comes in. And then if you use 1 red or 1 white once again, it becomes a 2/2 KYTHEON Spirit. For 3 red or white, if Figure of Destiny is a spirit, so if you use the last ability, it becomes a 4/4 KYTHEON Spirit Warrior. And for 6 red or white, if it is a warrior, so the ability previous to this, it becomes a 8/8 KYTHEON Spirit Warrior Avatar with flying and first strike. So in the long run, it can get very, very powerful. Next is 1 white for a 2/1 Mardu Woe Reaper. Whenever Mardu Woe Reaper or another warrior enters the battlefield under your control, you may exile target creature card from graveyard. If you do, you gain 1 life. So that's just helping you gain some extra life. I'm not sure how you say this one. I think it's Step Links for 1 white and a 0/1. But whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, the Links gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And we do have quite a bit of land in this deck, so that will happen quite periodically. Student of Warfare, 1 white. It starts as a 1/1, and when you level it up, it takes 1 white. Between level 2 and 6 is first strike 3/3, and above level 7 or above is double strike 4/4. So very strong. So reaching the spells, we have Brave the Elements, 1 white. Choose a color. White creatures you control gain protection from the chosen color until end of turn. So very good. No matter what deck you're playing, unless it's rainbow, in which you probably want to sideboard something in. Next is Mana Tithe. 1 white for a counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 colorless. Path to Exile. 1 white. Exile target creature. Its controller may search his or her library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle his or her library. So that's your removal for the deck. Angel's Grace. Alright, so this is the sideboard now. So we start with Angel's Grace. 1 white, split second. You can't lose the game this turn, and your opponents can't win the game this turn. Until the end of turn, damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. And you're going to have 3 of those. Grafdigger's Cage. 1 colorless. Creature cards can't enter the battlefield from graveyards or libraries, and players can't cast cards in graveyards or libraries. And you're going to have 2 of these. So that's very helpful when it comes to something that's searching the library constantly. Sunlace is 1 white, and it does 3 damage to target non-white creature. Soul Tithe, 1 colorless and 1 white. Enchant non-land permanent. At the beginning of your upkeep, if enchant permanent's controller, that player sacrifice. At the beginning of your upkeep of enchanted permanent's controller, that player sacrifices it unless he or she plays X, where X is the converted mana cost. So it's practically removal eventually because they won't want to pay it. Dismember for 1 and either 2 black or 4 life. It's an instant. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. So just some more removal. So that is the KYTHEON Hero of Akros deck, or Gideon Battleforge deck. At the end of the day, this deck comes in at a price of, $140. So it is expensive, but it's a very good deck. And if you're comparing it to some decks, it's not expensive. For example, an upcoming deck that I made is an $800 deck. So although it's unrealistic and probably none of you will get it, it's a very good deck, and you might just want to check it out for fun. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.